Hey everyone, my name's Walter, and I'm back here after apparently 9 months to finally talk about our friend Russell Greer again. Russell Greer is a terrifying sex pest who thinks that women shouldn't legally be allowed to turn him down because he's disabled. He is disabled, but I don't think it's anywhere near as debilitating as he acts like it is. Let's begin with Why I Sued Taylor Swift Part 2. Russell does have Mobius syndrome, a condition that makes it impossible to control his facial muscles normally. And I don't plan to make fun of his condition, of course. But he does things like demanding that he be able to wear pants into Planet Fitness. Now, I've never laughed at anyone in a gym before, but if I saw this guy there in khaki pants lifting small weights in front of the mirror while he takes a picture for Instagram, that's hilarious. Anyway, we're for some reason going to start by briefly talking about Russell's second book, which is actually a 33-page essay with a very inspirational title. Why I'm Making It Legal for Your 18-year-old Daughter to Get in Bed with a Complete Stranger for Only $500. A short essay from a pro se litigant who is challenging the Utah brothel ban, by Russell Greer. God, I don't even have a daughter and I still want to hit him. No idea why he thought it was a good idea to pick such an antagonistic title. Short essay on why a disabled man is challenging the Utah brothel bans in federal court. He was denied a license to open a brothel in Utah and believes denying him a license violates his First Amendment rights of association and his 14th Amendment rights of equal protection. Besides that, the laws against brothels serve no rational basis and are thus unconstitutional. Notice how he always opens with calling himself disabled, even when it really doesn't affect what he's doing here. Anyway, if this title annoyed me, it really annoyed some people in the comments. Let's check them out. He talks like women owe him their time and bodies. This guy is totally crazy. He talks like women owe him their time and bodies. The ideas in the book aren't even well thought out. I find it odd that the only positive review of this book says haters gonna hate, something that Russ says on Facebook all the time. The book is full of nonsense, the least of which is him stating that he lasted 20 minutes the first time he had sex. Not likely. Horrible book, horrible author, not worth anyone's time. 69 people found this helpful. Nice. I haven't actually read this essay, but I can only imagine why he felt the need to add factoids like that. Hell nah. Hey Russ, I didn't buy your sick delusional essay, but here I am writing a review. Grotesque. This guy thinks it should be illegal for a woman to turn him down for a date because he has a disability. Yeah, he clearly has a mental handicap, but as far as I could tell, he just has a lumpy head. He is easily worse than Lucas Werner, and that's saying something. Any and every woman he encounters should run the other way as far as possible. Gives me the creeps just thinking about him. If you watch my content, you're probably painfully aware of how much of a creep Lucas is. This isn't proof that Russell is worse, but he has to be pretty bad for someone to even say that. Anyway, let's get back into reading his first book. I'll link to the last video in the description, but I think I spent most of the video reading reviews. We're still right at the beginning. After weeks of slowly recovering from the aftermath of it all, with the news refusing my request to cover the truth of what I went through, they blasted false stories of me all over the internet though, and the trolls dragging my name through the mud, I decided to write this book to explain my side of things. And to try seeking justice for myself, and to reveal events that the news wouldn't cover and that the police refused to pursue. Some of these events were the many people who tried taking my life, the death threats against my family, a girl committing suicide, the online bullying and the stalking against me, Taylor Swift slandering my intentions, and how Taylor's record label tried hiding this event. I'm not sure why he used semicolons there instead of commas. By the way, every time I question if something actually happened, remember that this is supposed to be non-fiction, but all sorts of fantastical things are going to happen in it. This book is an attempt to clear my name and show that I'm not crazy or frivolous or litigious, but to show that I'm a human being who stands on principle. This book gives an in-depth look into what really happened, and also shows how Taylor Swift and her agents had duties to not shaft me. This book shows the plight of the disabled man who struggled to get into the entertainment industry. My God, Russell, how many people do you think have gotten into the entertainment industry by sending in unsolicited songs? I would wager very few because it's standard to not accept song ideas. Apparently it's a legal nightmare to do so. But no, it should have been okay for Russell because he has a disability. Also, Taylor Swift should have to date him. Obviously, look at this Chad. It also shows how elitism in Hollywood is implicit discrimination. Most importantly, it encourages those who may have a Taylor Swift in their life to not back down. It encourages those who have been wronged to not give up, but to fight back, to scream and shout, to get on tabletops and yell from the top of your lungs, to bring attention to your situation. And if needs be, set the situation on fire so others can see the unjustness. Yeah, I think they do see the unjustness of this guy stalking Taylor Swift and then calling himself the victim. Well, there will be plenty more of that. Okay, that one page was the prologue, so let's begin chapter 1. The duty of being in the spotlight. If I told you that Taylor Swift destroyed my life even though her and I never physically met, would you burst into hysteric laughter and write me off as crazy? What if I told you that I gave all of my money and heart to Taylor Swift because I relied on her representations, which she gave through her words and her actions, only to be left broke and broken-hearted? Would you shake your heads and throw this book away, not wanting to read the fanatical writings of a raving lunatic? Honestly, Taylor Swift destroying the life of someone she hasn't actually met isn't an impossible thing. The only problem here is she didn't do anything to Russell. He destroyed his own life as everyone around him was telling him he needs to stop. You'll even see it in this story. Both rhetorical questions aren't as bizarre as they seem. Those questions also establish the thesis and the backbone for this entire story. Celebrities, upon certain circumstances and in certain situations, are responsible for any misrepresentations that they give their fans, or people wanting to work with them. Celebrities owe a duty to those people. Further, no contract is required to establish this duty, given the power of influence that celebrities have. Yep, blasphemy, I know. Your face may look just like that swimmer's after reading the above paragraph, but for this story to make any sense, I had to dedicate an entire chapter to define duties that Taylor and other celebrities need to abide by, or they could find themselves in hot water. So before you condemn me and set the dogs on me, hear me out. For me to explain myself clearly, I would like to present my arguments in two different sections. 1. A layman's context, non-legal context, to establish a basic understanding of a duty. And 2. A legal ramifications context, to establish how a celebrity should and could be found liable in the court of law. The layman's context for celebrity duty. Let's start with defining what a duty is in the normal sense of the word. Webster's dictionary defines a duty as obligatory tasks, conducts, services, or functions that arise from one's position, as in life or in a group. These duties can be as simple as driving a car and having the duty to observe traffic laws. Other duties become more complex, with professionals having to abide by set standards of care. Black's Law Dictionary puts it more simply. Wherever there exists a right in any person, there also rests a corresponding duty upon some other person or upon all persons generally. The key word in these two definitions are a right and a position. Now that we have a general understanding of what a duty is, the question still stands: do celebrities owe any duties to their fans? Based upon these two dictionary definitions, yes. Celebrities, given the positions that they are in, with the rights that they hold, owe a duty to their fans for any misrepresentation, false statement, or false action that they make. Kind of like what Uncle Ben said in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Some heads might be exploding right now, but stay with me because it's true. Celebrities, given their DNA history made up of being humans and their being public figures, enjoy two rights: the right to privacy and the right to publicity. Okay, I'm not calling myself a celebrity, of course. I'm a nobody, but I do have fans, and I sure would hate for someone to be legally entitled to my time just because they like my videos. I feel like nobody but Russell and other weirdo stalkers really want this to be a thing, probably. As stated above, since celebrities breathe, bleed, belch, and get bored like the rest of us do, because they are only human too, believe it or not, they enjoy their rights to privacy just like us average Joes and Janes do. Celebrities deserve to have private dinners and conversations with their loved ones. Celebrities deserve to sleep and live comfortably in their lavish homes and not have to worry about trespassers. Celebrities deserve the right to stroll around downtown and enjoy the night out without being stalked by paparazzi and obsessive fans. These superstars and international idols deserve every right that any other human being on this planet deserves. A little peace and quiet if they so desire. He didn't really say anything wrong here, but I am wondering what he cited to prove celebrities are only human. And since they are celebrities, they also enjoy the right to publicity, the right to choose which products can use their images and likeness. Many megastars enjoy the right to be able to trademark their names to be used on fragrances, jewelry, and other products. For example, in intellectual property law, a person is able to trademark his or her name when it has established a secondary meaning, which means that the name has become well known and familiar with the populace. Taylor Swift is obviously a household name. At the time of this writing, a search was conducted on the United States Trademark Search website, and Taylor Swift has trademarked at least 62 different trademarks that bear her name or initials. Obviously, Ms. Swift knows that there is power in her name, but I'll save the legal mumbo-jumbo for the legal section of my arguments. It's actually unusually appropriate that Russ calls it mumbo-jumbo, because that's really all he has. Needless to say, celebrities know they've got the power. I use that song quote in my best Penny Ford cover voice, except my voice doesn't go that high. I sound more like a dying cat than doing a cover song. As a side note, you'll see that I throw in a lot of tongue-in-cheek pop references in this book. I also throw in a lot of side notes, just as a side note. I am kind of wondering if this guy has ever read a book before. He's doing so many weird things I've never seen in one. Believe it or not, it's not all fluff that celebrities possess some extraordinary power to sway people. They know that they possess this power. Why do you think pop singer Katy Perry actively campaigned with Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton during the 2016 presidential elections? Perhaps Katy is a political junkie? Maybe Katy was concerned about the possible direction of the country? So why didn't she do this as a private citizen? Why did she have to perform on the campaign trail? Because Katy knew that with her popularity and level of name recognition that she could garner more votes. Not just Katy, but many other celebrities turned out to support Hillary Clinton. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Demi Lovato. There's even a non-profit political group that uses celebrity spokespeople to help persuade young people to vote. Rock the vote. Yeah, this part is some real Captain Obvious stuff, and it's boring. I don't even know why he feels the need to state a thesis for this non-fiction story. Let's just read a bit more. With the expanding use of social media and technology, celebrities are now being dubbed social media influencers. The accounts of celebrities, either ran personally by them or by an associate of theirs, are now identified with a blue check mark that signifies their accounts as verified, signifying that the accounts actually belong to them, since people, for some odd reason, like to create duplicate fake accounts of celebrities. On Taylor Swift's social media platforms, she has 77 million followers on her Facebook, 103 million followers on Instagram, 25 million YouTube subscribers, and 85 million followers on her Twitter. Combined, that's around 290 million people she's influencing, give or take the duplicate and fake accounts that follow her. One of those 290 million people is bound to be influenced in a way Taylor Swift may not have meant. Ahem, right here, yours truly. He even flat out says she didn't mean for him to be influenced. Sure, Russell. He is so reminiscent of Charlie Kelly when he's trying to use legal talk or doing his research. Anyway, I think that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say about the video or the subject matter, especially about Russell Greer, let me hear it in the comments. Those are always fun. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more of the same. I will be working again here very soon. And now to shout out my generous patrons by name. They help me out more directly over on Patreon. Thank you so much. Jimmo, Alatuna Dan, Enoe Blue, Levon, Maxo11X, Chris Sturman, MDB3000, Bumbus McDunga, Amelia Bunny, Amanda Gillies, Bethy Williams, Big Mike Shirley, Cacti Lady Wither, Cho, Daniel Delapenna, Deborah Douglas, Dr. A, Finn Yee, Horatio T, Justin Godsey, Kitty Sparkles, Clipper, Leanne Summers, Ouroboros, Rob Sop, Sammy, Sandyman, Spoonie the Rogue, V stands for, Wernology, William Ash, Jacob K, Camper Supreme, Megan Breeze, Psychic Kumquat, Alex Anakin, Alan Fang, Knit1 Code 2, Lil Spoon, Ms. Mayhem, Staples aka Jerry Yeet, Ben Pott, Cockblocks, Francois Tremblay, Nick Lucarelli, and Petulant Panda. Thank you so much. I actually have a Dan Silly video coming up soon. It might end up being on my third channel, but I'll let you know if it is. He's someone who's probably even creepier than Russell, if you can believe that. Have a great night, everyone, and try not to owe people like Russell any of your time. You don't want to be his next Taylor Swift.